Good evening, everyone.
Hi, guys.
This is BQuest with John and John.
Yep.
We're back for our weekly live Sunday night intuitive Q&A.
Yes, we are. So this is our third one on Spiritual Directory,
I think so, yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Spiritual Directory. Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you, Sarah.
For sharing with us. We're loving doing it on here. And all the members of Spiritual Events Directory. That's great. So we can't see anything at the moment because we're just technically challenged.
Just kidding. It's so long.
So yes, anyone who's got any questions, life events, anything like that, they want intuitive interpretation to.
Yep.
Anything from dreams to what else is there?
Life
events, anything like that. They want. There we go.
There we go.
So
shocking process.
Yes. Hi, everybody. So yeah, if you've got, if you want to come on and talk to us, if you've got sort of a dream interpretation or some personal health things that you want intuited and the possible energetic description to, it'll be easier if you come on live on Zoom. So the link's up the top there on the Facebook.
Should be right this week.
Hopefully it'll be right this time. 12th time lucky or something,
Yeah.
It's like, So yeah, we had a great time last week. Got some really good feedback.
Hello.
We did a couple of lives, personal sessions afterwards.
We did a few sessions this week, which has been fantastic. Lots of good feedback, lots of good work and clearing for people. So yeah, we're pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it's been really, really good.
So anyone's got any questions, drop your questions in the comments. Which I guess it's intuitive guidance. We're thinking about calling it intuitive guidance.
Yeah,
so we'd love some feedback on that.
But yeah, the feedback, we're calling it intuitive Q&A, but we don't like the Q&A part. So because it's a mixture of guidance, we do some intuitive healing and all sorts of stuff. So give us your feedback on what you think the title of our live should be. And if you get us, and we choose your
if we choose your name or your title, we'll give you a free half-an-hour session.
Yes, live session, free half-an-hour session. So if you think of a better name, one that sort of ties into everything we're talking about, because
it's kind of hard to describe what we do.
Yes, it's like there's so many different variables. So
all right, dream interpretation.
Yeah,
I found coins in the sand. We've got Eileen Taylor.
Coins in the sand. This is dream interpretation needs to be a little bit more descriptive than that. Generally, I mean, there are some simple ones. I mean, coins in the sand. There's a couple of immediate things to pop to mind. One is like, because with the dream interpretation, you've got to get your meaning of certain things. So the sand generally represents beach, represents the ocean and stuff like that. So and coins in the sand is like kind of like buried treasure. So, and water in dreams has got a lot to do with emotions. So it could have navel chakra and emotions and stuff like that. So it may have to do with, you've got a bit of buried treasure in your emotional area that can so listening to your emotions, to your navel chakra could, if you dig into that, could bring you more money by using it for your work or something like that. And that's a really rough interpretation from that.
Sand for me sort of gives me the sense of grounding. I mean, we generally go down to the sand for grounding as well.
Because with dream interpretation, it's like, because it's interpretation, we sort of explore your meaning of certain things, because everyone's meaning of different things can be different. So
if you've got any more, pop a little comment down there.
If anyone wants to come on live, just click on the Zoom link above and we'll join you in. Which we have to keep an eye on.
So we got Beck Wood. I've had this chest infection that will not move. I've tried everything and I'm really listening in. Any suggestions on what might be happening for me energetically?
Chest infection. So infections, it's viral. So it's generally speaking, it's in the chest. So there's going to be issues because it's got to do with lungs and that. There's going to be general issues of grief or not breathing in life. And viral stuff means you've probably got viruses, like you've just got too many people's opinions and ideas. It's almost like a virus. There's so many ideas on maybe how you should live life, or all this grief that may be stored in there that's not even yours. But generally chest infections has got to do with the two main issues. One is you've got unexpressed grief, and it could be from a long time ago, or it could be other people's grief you've stored in yourself without knowing. And the other part
feels like it's being pushed on her or pressed on her.
Yeah. So it's like, and the viral thing is it's a virus. It's like this. It's all, return it to sender. Stop telling yourself you can't get rid of it, for starters. One of the things, what did she say? I've tried everything. So first of all, you can't say you've tried everything, because then you can't get rid of it, because subconsciously your mind's picking up you've tried everything. So then you can't even listen to what we're saying. And this is how the subconscious picks things up. So I've tried nearly everything. Maybe it's just a matter of me letting it go. This is how the subconscious picks up terms and that we use. I know you don't mean that, but the subconscious doesn't know whether you mean it or not. It just hears the words and goes, okay, well, we've tried everything, so nothing's going to work. Even though that's not your intention. So one of the things we do with our training is to change those keywords. So I've tried most of the things, but maybe I can let it go. Maybe this is more emotional. Maybe it's grief-based. Often is that the lungs is to do with stored grief. This is what smoking is for most people. They're pushing down the grief when they can't give up smoking. If you do give up smoking, often if you just stop it and go cold turkey, you'll for several days, you'll just feel like crying quite a lot, and you won't even know why, because the grief could be so old, you don't know what it's about. So, but the virus is definitely too many beliefs about breathing in your life, how to enjoy life, too many other people's ideas and beliefs or societies or that whole thing. It's just about get back to you, breathe in life the way you want to do it, live because it's like we're breathing in through the lungs, and it's like, so you're not enjoying it. And often that is the grief as well, combined in with that. So, again, this is something that I'd probably have to talk to you to ask a few more questions to delve into it, because there's probably other links between that.
Yeah.
So because it is viral, it's usually got a few other meridians and stuff involved with as well.
All right. Awesome. Let's keep going. What have we got here? Lucia. Hello, Lucia. Would love some insights around my liver issues. I love the live you did for me on Monday. Thank you.
The liver, the liver gallbladder is generally about anger, and it's about directing your life. So the liver, the reason they say in the olden days they called it liver is because this is the main meridian. This is where we're supposed to live. It's called liver, and we're supposed to live there. So it's mainly about living your life, and this is where we store the anger. So if you're on a lot of alcohol and that, and you drink alcohol, the anger will bubble up when you stop drinking alcohol, and not always, apparently. I found out through the week you can hold it down for a year and a half.
Left side front, maybe.
So I would say, Lucia, John's picking up its left side front. So it's more anger to do with where you're heading in the future. So where you want to go with your work, with your career, with your personal life, with your health. It's the liver is the general. It commands all the chi energy to run around, and then the chi energy runs around and mingles with the chakras as well. So it's a lot to do with anger. And generally speaking, I mean, there's a lot of physical stuff here. So first of all, we want to say, like, don't take.
We're not doctors. You can see our face. We're professional, but
we're not doctors, and we're not supposed to. None of this is supposed to substitute what your doctor says. And you've still got things that, like flushing the liver. You can do liver cleanse diets and stuff like that, or herbs or whatever it takes there. So those things will add to it. We're purely dealing mostly with the emotional, energetic issues here. So just a little disclaimer, so we don't get in trouble off the TGA. We're not diagnosing here.
We're not diagnosing.
We're giving back. So you can still see your doctor about these things, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got Kelly Jones. What can we do for Kelly? Kelly Jones. My husband's going through a claim on an emotional level. I'd like to see it over before the end of the year. Do you see a time frame? Yeah, I don't. It doesn't feel like the end of the year. I feel like some clarity.
Sorry,
some clarity might come through around September, but I don't think it's. I don't feel it's going to finish this year myself.
No, February, March. It feels like you'll get the finalisation. February, March, maybe April for the payment or whatever to come through. But I think on a level of letting it go, probably September to November, he'll. It'll be in the process. It'll be in the process, so it won't be sort of playing on his mind and everything quite as much. And one thing with that, it's quite a common thing, you know, if you can encourage him to sort of not think about it as much by just seeing it done, you know, just constantly ask him, what are you going to feel like after it's paid out? You know, so if he's stressing about it, just say, how are you going to, like, what are you going to feel like after it's done? Like, think about what you're going to feel like a month after the money comes through, just to counteract all of that fear energy or all of the
like I said, it's called focusing on what you don't want. Right?
Well, it's one of our tools. So if you focus on what you don't want, which is the problems, the pain, or everything, you get more of it.
Yeah.
So focus on what you do want, which is feeling happy and relaxed and at ease. And the more he talks about that, so just as many times you can, if he's stressing about it or you're both stressing about it, just go, so let's just talk about for a minute how we're gonna feel and how it's gonna feel after it's all done. And that will that energy of talking and thinking about that will counteract a lot of the energy of the stress and that of worrying about it.
Yeah. And I'm also getting the sense of space, like hold space for him, you know, and if you do find him maybe going into like questioning or that doubt, just give him that little kind of pat in the back, say, yeah, be fine, don't worry about it, be fine. And then as John said, get on to focusing about what you can do afterwards, you know, when that's all behind.
Because when the one thing you can change is your feelings and your emotions, your internal self. You can control that. You can, not you do, get that on clear. You can control that, as a lot of people don't. So you can, and one of the ways you do that is by just pulling the feelings from the future back to the now. So, I'm going to feel relaxed and that. I'll feel that relaxedness right now. You can tune into that and you can pull it in. Yeah. And the more you do that, the more times per day you do that, the faster things turn out. So it can actually, if you do the right thing, it can come forward, but I'm getting that it won't. It's so cool.
Kaz, love life. Feel like I'm going to be forever alone. I think that says it right there, John.
Yes, another self-fulfilling prophecy. This is the problem. So the subconscious mind hears our thoughts, hears our feelings, and hears our emotions, and it turns them all into pictures. And it doesn't filter out. One of the things we learned a little while ago was not to make sarcastic jokes about ourselves. Yeah. Especially as you become more aware, because those sarcastic jokes become the truth, because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a joke, a truth, and words spoken that are not true and that are a joke. And so the more conscious you become, the faster the subconscious manifests. And so you make jokes about yourself, like little derogatory jokes or whatever, they'll manifest really quick. And the feeling like you're going to be forever alone, maybe that's not you, maybe that's the what we like to term the dweller, the ego, whatever it is, because that particular aspect of most people is just what we call the separate self. Pretty much is alone. It's the one that created aloneness. We're all one, but if we, that's oneness. But if we go into duality, that's separateness, that's right and wrong, good and bad, you and me, we're all actually one, even though we're individual. So that identity, that separation that we've created, which some people call the ego, I don't really like that word because it gives it too much power, but it's the identity of the separate self. And that's the one, maybe say, is that actually my feeling of being alone? True. This is one of our other tools we use to say, is that my feeling? Oh, and if it gets lighter, if it dissipates a little bit, say, oh, well, bugger that off, or return to sender, or piss off, or whatever. It's like, and you repeat that a couple of times. Yeah. So that saying that I feel like I'm going to be, that feeling's creating a picture in the subconscious, and it's like, oh, okay, so maybe that feeling's not mine. Maybe that feeling's everyone else's. If you're in a particular area where there's a lot of single people, maybe you're picking up the feeling of 10,000 people around you, and it's all theirs. And it's like, oh maybe I had that feeling, and then you create it by thinking it's your feeling and by saying it's your feeling. So the one way we do that quite a lot is by saying, is that my feeling, or is that mine? Is that my thought? Oh, okay. And if it gets less strong, less intense, then you say, go away, or return to sender, or
get lost,
or screw that.
John and I created a manifesting your perfect partner video. Thank you, John. Where John put me under the spot and worked through picturing what a perfect partner, like the characteristics or the aspects of a perfect partner. So I'll drop a link to the YouTube video for that later, but maybe even go check that out, and rather than focusing on maybe feeling like you're going to be alone forever, particularly if it's not a feeling, maybe start to think about what are those aspects that I'd like in my perfect partner, and then see
if you're matching them.
See if you're matching them, and see if there's areas that you need to work on first to meet that.
Yeah. So on our free YouTube videos, there's one there for that, and then that's what we call focusing on what you do want, not what you don't want. So the feeling, I feel like I'm going to be alone forever. That's you focusing. So Einstein's theory says energy goes where thought flows. So what we think about, what we focus on, that's another one of our tools, which is like focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. Then that's, so every time you do that, don't judge yourself or anything for that. So, okay, so what do you want? What do you want in a partner? You want him to be, calm, relaxed, happy, whatever. So, and then ask that, what would that partner want in his partner? And do I match those? And if not, how do I change that? Right? How do I start changing those? And it's the qualities more, it's the attitudes and qualities, not the external things as much. So that's probably, again, that's probably more of a session where we'd need to talk face to face and really delve into what your subconscious blockages are there. Because most of our subconscious blockages, we've just picked them up and we've been running with them since childhood. They're just sayings and stuff like that we've picked up, and we think it's our beliefs, and most of them aren't.
So I'm just sort of scooting through some of the other questions here. Some of the questions, guys, are a little bit too vague. Do you see anything in my finances? It's not that we couldn't, I guess, attempt to try to help intuit through that. But we have to really have you face to face, so we have to either bring you in on live if you're willing to do that.
We really want to get across that as we do share these with people, we're teaching people to check with their own intuition. It's like we've all got our own intuition. And so when we share this with people, especially if you come on live, other people can then go, okay, I can check that and I can do that. So we can do the readings and that, but this is probably not the session for that sort of stuff. So
Layla, the first part, if I'll be financially well, maybe not so much that part, but the purchasing of my own home. Again, that's really, going and making the decision, right?
Yeah,
we spoke a little bit about this, I think, last week or the week before.
Yes.
Do you want
to, have you decided to purchase your own home? So most of the time we go, well, you haven't decided it. When we say decided it internally, you've already got to be the homeowner. You've already got to be that inside. So you go, yep, okay. And even if you've got no possible way of knowing, even if it looks like it's impossible, I don't even have the ability to get a loan in that. Have you looked for the houses? Have you picked the type of house? Not limit it to one house, but the type of house. And then say, okay, I'm a homeowner, and do little symbolic things. Start treating your current house like you own it. Start acting like you're a homeowner, not a renter. Because again, the universe, another saying from Einstein was, nature abhors a vacuum. So if you create the energy of something around you, if you create, and the same with the relationship one. If you walk around like you're already in a relationship, and I used to do this with spirit, I used to go, or the divine masculine feminine, I used to go, and even I'd get up on the dance floor and dance with women, but inside I was dancing with my divine feminine, and so much passion and that would come out on the dance floor. I'd see it as, my God self and my goddess dancing together, and that's the feeling. And people would think that this would be someone I just picked up out of the crowd to have a dance, and they thought we were like just married or something. Yes, he
dances, ladies. Yes.
I used to. I'm coming back to it as well. But yeah, because you see it internally, and you go, become a homeowner inside. Start acting like you're a homeowner. Think like you're a homeowner. Start seeing your current house as it's already owned. And don't worry about the details of how to do it, and just go, lead me, guide me.
Work on the feeling, right?
Yeah.
Go to display homes or go to furniture stores and touch and feel and smell and really build that desire up for it.
And get out of the what you need, what we call the how-tos.
The how-tos, yeah.
Oh, I need a loan, or I need a deposit, or this and that. So yeah, that's one way, but the universe might say something else. And it's like, and what does that make me feel like? Just stay with the feelings, and that will bring it a lot faster, and it will open up to other possibilities as well.
Okay.
So with a lot of the intuitive stuff, we're asking questions. We really need to ask you questions back, because my description and my interpretation of one word could be completely different to yours. So That's why it's much easier if you do come on live and have a little chat with us if you've got a few of those. More the health ones and that, they're a lot easier for me because I can use the Chinese medicine, the meridians and stuff like that. And we've got a lot of symbolic stuff in the body and that I can pinpoint that a lot easier. That is a much more general one. But a lot of the other interpretations, it's much easier face to face because I can dig into your psyche and what your beliefs are about different words and aspects.
So Barbara, wondering what you may see that is blocking my psychic ability. I guess for me, the first thing that comes through is, do you actually have a block? Like maybe it's the perception that you have a block that's creating the block. I know I personally was doing that quite a lot about 6 or 8 months ago. I'd obviously work with John and I'd see John's talents and abilities, and then I'd be wondering why mine weren't working. And then I'd start asking the same questions. Oh, what blocks have I got? Oh, is there a block? Is there a block? There's a block. And I'm actually creating more like harm, than just allowing or just asking it from a wonderment point of view. I wonder,
So maybe ask yourself, am I thinking my psychic ability is blocked and that's what's blocking it? The fact that you ask that question the way you are, what you may see that is blocking. So you've already made the statement to the subconscious mind that something's blocking your psychic ability. And that may have been true before. It may be gone and you're still recreating it by saying that. So check back in and say, maybe my psychic ability was blocked before. And maybe it was blocked for a positive reason because it would have taken me in the wrong direction. I would have opened up too much power before I could handle it. And maybe now, today, it's actually not really blocked, but I think it's blocked, so it's making it blocked. This is a really powerful one that, and again, that's much easier because if we talk to you, because I can get you to ask the question in the moment. So anyone, is anyone on live or requesting to come on live? So that's one of the ways that we can find it a lot easier because we can get you to ask that question. So is my psychic ability actually unblocked? And I'm thinking it's blocked. And if you ask that question, all of a sudden it can start to open. And also ask for it to open in a gentle way that doesn't scare you. Sometimes I had some visions coming through myself tonight with the masters and it was like the face was showing clearly in my third eye, which I haven't had before. And as it started, I was like, and I freaked out a little bit. And it's like, so I blocked it. So I like talking to them, but seeing them was going to take it to a whole new level. So I said, okay, just let me see a little bit more each day, a little bit more each day, a little bit more so I don't freak out. And it's like, so because I have total trust in talking, in feeling, but seeing was like a whole new level for me tonight. So,
okay. So Karen's got back to us saying that she has been manifesting her home for quite a while. She feels that the place that she's in is unhealthy for her. She's even packed her belongings to encourage this, so she's making gestures, but I'm not understanding why it's not happening. Any other suggestions?
Yeah, so packed your belongings. You're saying the home you're in is unhealthy, right? So that's part of the subconscious blockage, right? So the home you're in is always the home you're in because the subconscious mind only deals in nows. So that you're creating that as a new home you're going into is unhealthy because it only hears the now. It doesn't hear the future. It's not like it doesn't know next or tomorrow or anything like that. So this, just changing that wording a little bit. This situation is unhealthy for me, or this situation feels unhealthy for me. Is it unhealthy for me? And
what about picturing the house that she's in is the new house?
Yeah, that's what we said before. That's what I said before. Picturing the new house, start seeing it around you, start feeling it. Like when I got my last one before here with John, I just picked one room because I wanted to get a really nice house because I've got lots of kids and never had a really nice one in my eyes anyway. It was really nice for everyone else, but my level of nice was a bit higher. And so every morning when I got in the shower in the bathroom, I just really imagined that bathroom, like the taps and everything was like coated in gold or 12 karat gold or whatever it is. And just felt that like the floors were marble and sink was marble. And I really sort of got into the feeling of that. And sometimes it even tricked my eyes into looking like it. I got so much into the feeling. And I just chose that one in the bathroom because that was easier for me to do because there was no kids and stuff around. That was quite easy. But yeah, just pick one and visualize that. See yourself like in the mirror and just feel it like it's the new house bathroom.
Yeah.
Just do that every morning. Feel it like the bathroom is the bathroom of the new house and just So but get into the feeling and get into the gratitude and thank it and choose from inside. Thank it and thank it for already being there. Thank it for being delivered and get the how-tos out of the way. I think the biggest one is the how-tos and the timing. So say, bring it in divine timing and show me how to let go and receive.
Okay. Natalie, what do you see for my marriage? As we're separated at the moment, do you see us reuniting? Also, what do you see for my depression? Or have they diagnosed me wrong? Let's go to the second one.
Yeah, so the marriage one, that's up in the air at the moment. There's a lot of choices between the two of you. There's two paths for that. Both paths are still very open. I can feel on that one. So it depends on the work both of you do on yourselves. The next one, the depression. So is like I got diagnosed with depression several times by the doctors, and I had friends who had depression, but the Western doctors only have one depression. It's mental depression. And they wanted to give me pills and that for it. And my friends, two of my friends, one of them that lived with me had mental depression, and I didn't have what he had, right? But I ticked all the boxes at the doctor, and I was like, and I actually even blew up the doctor. I said, listen here, I don't have frigging depression, all right? And then I joked with him. I said, can someone with depression say that? I said, I'm too arrogant to have depression, but I have all the symptoms. And then later on, when I did the Chinese medicine, I found out that Chinese medicine has 5 different types of depression. I had liver depression, which is your long-term hopes and dreams that you don't believe they're going to manifest. I've been working on this stuff over 20 years. And it would get up and get going and slow down. And I just didn't think I was ever going to get to be doing it full time again and just get it to the level I wanted to get these teachings. And then when I realized that, I'm like, oh, so I did have depression, but none of that mental stuff, you can get lung depression, you can get liver depression, you can get heart depression, you can get spleen depression. And they relate to different emotional things. So the liver directs your life. So it's either, I think you've got either liver depression or kidney depression. And it's in the back. So you're bringing, so the kidneys are about fear. Kidney or liver? Kidney, liver. No, it feels like liver. It's liver depression, I think. So liver depression is about, the liver directs your energy, directs your tree, directs your life. And it wants to plan like ahead. So your hopes and dreams, long term, this is not the short term, not this year, but your 10-year plan, your 20-year plan. Or in my case, it was my previous 20-year plan that I was at 20 years and it didn't seem to be working. Yeah. So I thought my long term, day to day, month to month, even year to year hopes and dreams were okay. But the big plan of doing this full time and getting paid well for it and that, I didn't believe it anymore, and that was causing the liver depression. So as soon as I heard that and I started working on it, I go, okay, I don't know how long it's going to take. And it took me another 3 years to get it fully working. But as soon as I started working on it and going, okay, I'm going to make this happen. I don't know how, I've got no idea. I'm going to make my hopes and dreams happen. I'm going to start working on it again. And, it started to lift very quickly. But I think the kidneys are involved. If you're on the medication, the kidneys are going to be strained. That's why I'm picking up kidneys as well. Because they filter out a lot of the toxins from medication, and that's going to cause fear to creep in if the kidneys are weak, because that'll weaken the kidney meridians. So I'm guessing that is, and if that's the case, then focusing on the relationship is probably the worst thing to do at the moment, because that's going to create more depression. Yeah. Focus on working on yourself, be yourself. If you can do that, that's the one that's going to open the relationship up to come back together.
And I'm getting from your inner child, do some drawing. Apparently, she wants you to release sort of some stuff through just drawing and art and a bit of focus that way. And
write down the fears on a piece of paper as well and burn it afterwards. It's a wonderful way of letting go of the fear emotions.
Okay. What's blocking me from being, this is Jen McLaren. What's blocking me from being in touch with my guides, please? And do you have any advice or information on trouble with my memory and my neural pathways? I struggle with retaining information.
Okay, so there's a few there. Yeah. The guides one, I don't think you're blocked. I think you're blocking by saying that. This is again the same thing. What's blocking me? You're already assuming that you're blocked, and you may have been blocked yesterday or last week or last month, and now you're saying I'm blocked, and that's causing the blockage. I don't think you're being blocked from your guides, but I also don't think your guides are going to talk to you right now, because they want you to start. They'll guide you energetically. but they don't want to talk to you because they want you to start guiding yourself. So that trusting your feelings more, trusting your intuition. So one of the things we do, this intuitive thing, if it feels light, it's right. If it's heavy, it's a lie. So a lot of the times we're taught the real things are solid. The real things, this is a crystal ball and it's hard and it's solid. So that's real, right? And so therefore, when we get a feeling, we think it's got to feel hard, which is heavy and solid. But I think telephone signals are real, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi signals, TV signals, they're all real.
My voice.
They're all real. Yeah, his voice is real. Not real good right now.
Not real good. Shut up, you.
But they're real, but they're light. We can't see them. So our intuition is always talking to us. So enlightenment makes you feel lighter. Truth will set you free. You will feel lighter. So it's wanting you to work more with the feelings and stuff like that. So that's that part with the guides. What was the next one?
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
Comments are gone. It's too many comments.
Oh, okay.
Well, not retaining information.
Yeah, not retaining information. And that there's two main reasons for not retaining information. One is you just don't want to because it's all shit information. It's just all fucking just like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And your intuition doesn't really need to know. It's none of your business. It's like, are you forgetting anything that you need to do for you in a moment-to-moment basis, or are you trying to remember all the details and everything for everyone? That's one that's going to take up all of that subconscious memory. And it's like the subconscious is like the RAM on the computer. This is where most people have a problem. Their RAM is full, not their hard drive.
Yeah.
The RAM is the one that deals with day-to-day. So you're just trying to fix things that aren't yours, I'd say, mostly.
Yeah. I'm also getting a little bit of trusting, as John said, trust your intuition more and not so much look at the knowledge that you have, right, for the answers. Like look within you, but not to the memories in your brain, right? So look within you, look inside your heart and ask the questions inside your heart. And in that way, when you start to do that and you work through and build that intuition, you'll then naturally then start to have that trust and belief, and the guides' answers will come through. I get sort of 3 guides that are there, and they're just, from what I feel, they're just saying, just let go, just surrender, just let go, just surrender. Stop trying to get it all from out of here and start looking in here.
Stop trying to get it all in words and
that's what I'm getting.
Get it in feelings, get it in emotions. There's 3 minds now. Even science now says we have a head mind, a heart mind, and a gut mind. And the cells in our body store memory. They're like the DNA stores memory. So the memory is not stored in your brain. Your brain is just a signal box. Your mind is not your brain. They're 2 different things. Your heart has a mind. Your gut has a mind as well. And they have memory. They have feeling. They speak in different ways. And the subconscious picks up all of them. So I think you're just using all the head one too much. And it's just like, so just stop doing everything for everyone else is all I'm getting. Just stop trying to have all the answers for everyone and just start deleting the RAM by going, do I need to do that? Is that my business? It's none of my business. Okay. I don't need to remember that. I don't need to, I don't need to remember all the kids stuff. I don't need to remember where where's the Wi-Fi cord? Where's the charger cord, Dad? It's like, you'll find it. Don't worry. Don't answer their questions straight away. Just check with your heart. Do you need to answer those questions? Because that's all taking up memory in your RAM. So,
right, I'm just going through all the comments and the conversations that are happening on this thread.
So if anyone wants to come on live, how long have we got left? 25 minutes. So we've got enough time to put 2 or 3 people on live if they want to delve a little bit more into some of the intuitive understandings of health problems, of dreams, of anything like that, so that we can you'll see it much better if somebody's game enough to come on live and let us explore, because each meaning to words can be different to, like, they can have 10 different meanings to 10 different people to the same word. And so intuitively, we've got to work out your description of a word.
Okay, here we go. Max Gordon. Hey, Max. Pain in the right forearm when I'm at the gym.
Pain in the right forearm when you're at the gym. So the right forearm is here. So generally the right arm is to do with the right side is to do with either male or physical direction. So Max is one that's worked with us before. Hopefully, Max, you've tried Is That Mine, or Who Does That Belong To? Return to Sender. So I'm guessing you would have tried that. So secondly, the forearm is about, so the hand to the shoulder, these are about our daily actions and our daily routines, and these are your physical routines. So I'm guessing because it is at the gym and it is at the forearm, it's like it's about the routine of it. And the pain is telling you that maybe you're telling yourself to do the routine more often and you don't need to, or less often. So the pain is telling you whatever you're thinking you should or shouldn't be doing or not doing enough of in your daily gym routine or weekly or whatever it is, the pain's telling you that it's wrong. So the pain's there to say, if that's the case, which I think it is, because I'm pretty sure you would have tried to return to sender, then it's like, so because it's the forearm, so it's down to the real surface actions. So you're probably saying, I need to go to the gym more often, or I need to do more weights or less weights or whatever. And that pain's there probably to tell you that it's not true. So you might be saying, oh, I've got to do another hour a day, or I don't know how many you do, and the pain's going, no, just 1 hour a week's enough. You don't have to do 1 hour a day. Like it'll be something like that. It's telling you that whatever you're thinking in your daily routines and your daily actions is the opposite of what it is, unless you haven't tried return to sender.
Yeah.
So, and you know that one well, Max. So, say, is that my pain? If not, say, okay, piss off then. Bye.
Okay. Melissa Ann, if you're still there. Hello, guys. I've been burning sage as I feel constant negative energy in my place. What can you see to this? I've been also using crystals to block it.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm getting is you're creating the negative entities. Not negative entities. Is there entities? Hold on. What's the name?
Melissa Ann.
Melissa Ann. Is there entities? No. There's no entities. And the burning of the sage is actually having a counter effect because you're thinking there's a lot of negative energy there. So you're pulling that in. It's like it's that.
It feels like it's the recreation.
Yeah, it's
like it may have been true initially.
Yeah. So you would have cleared it after the first time, and then you think, oh, there's negative energy, and that brings the negative energy. So you burn more sage. So you're actually bringing the negative energy back by worrying about it, by thinking about it. You're allowing that back. So it's like John said, it's recreating it.
Yeah.
So is the negative energies gone now? Yes, they are. But are you recreating it by worrying about it, by thinking they're there?
Yep.
So often when I clear an entity out of somebody, I warn them, I said, you're going to feel a space or emptiness tomorrow and the next day. Don't worry about that. And otherwise you'll fill it back in with the negative. You'll call the entity back and bring it back again. So the burning of the sage, it's something you need to do once. And the negative energies and the negative things is one of my new practices they got me started on yesterday is one of the things you can do is just say, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. There is only one energy in the world. There's only oneness, and that's, God's energy. Everything else that is created that is supposedly negative or whatever is created by man. It's like a shadow. It's not real, but we create it as real. So negativity, fear is something that man creates, not God, So there's only one energy, there's only one force, there's only one power. When we see it as two, when we see it as right and wrong, good and bad, positive and negative, then we give that power and we create that, but we're creating it. It's not actually real. Yeah. We're making it real by creating it, by giving it power. It's like a 3D. It's like a, what do you call it? When they put the goggles on?
3D.
No, yeah.
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
Oh,
it's a virtual reality. It's a virtual reality because you believe it to be, so you can create it. So if you can just sit there and go, hey, I'm in oneness and I'm not creating this anymore, that will clear it very fast. Also, just stop seeing anything as bad or wrong or negative. Just stop seeing, just refuse to see negative or bad or wrong. So I've been practicing it, changing that way to make it a bit fun. I got the 3 monkeys with the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And I just make it a bit fun. It's like, no, I'm not going to see it as evil. That person's, that person that's angry at me and judging me. It's like, I'm not seeing it as evil. It's divine plan. I don't know what it is. But it's part of the divine plan. It's part of life. So it's not evil. It's not bad. It's just what it is. So I think you're pulling that back in. You're pulling whatever negative energy you did clear out at first. Now the fear and trying to clear it is actually focusing on it. It's focusing on what you don't want. So just focus on the light, focus on the love. So I want my house to feel really light and really expansive. I want myself to feel really light and really expansive. I'm not going to buy into my own negative thoughts anymore or anyone else's.
Okay.
You can't. I'm not going to try and stop them. I'm just not going to buy into them. So when my negative thoughts come up, I'm just going to go la 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 like a little kid just blocking out. Why you say la 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 la? What? Just keep interrupting the negative thoughts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
All right, Angela Simone. I've replied to your comment. If you want to come on live, there's a link to Zoom at the top of the comment, the top of the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So click on that, and I'll keep an eye out for anyone joining, and we can bring you in if you're still there.
Yeah.
If you want to come on in.
So the Zoom link's just at the top there in the comment underneath the spiritual directory's name.
Where are I? Patricia, numbness in fingers and feet.
Numbness in fingers and feet. Okay, so you're going cold on your direction. You're going, your direction and your daily actions. The numbness. I mean, first of all, let's deal with the spine issues. So. I've done spinology, which is shut down because the chiropractors didn't like it. But anyway, so the numbness, there can be compression in the spine a little bit, but that's also going to be because you're feeling like you're losing passion, you're losing motivation for your direction in life. And if it's both fingers and both feet on both hands, so you've really got to look into where you're headed in your life, both on a physical and spiritual side. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing on a daily basis as your practices. So practices, rituals, routines. So just having positive ones and feeling good about it. Like showering is a ritual or a routine. Start having joy with your daily practices. Do things that you want to do, like sit down and sing to the body when you're having a shower. Just make it fun. As simple as that. Make it fun. Pretty
sure it was the walking down the street, getting out into nature with Patricia. Yeah. And doing the craft from memory as well.
Oh,
so
okay,
maybe start moving and getting that done.
So the numbness is like, I mean, the physical side of it is there'll be a compression in the spine, and that's because you're feeling and that's going to put pressure on the nerves, which is actually going to cause the physical numbness. But that's because the chakras aren't open and you're not inspired and stuff like that. So it's trying to tell you you're losing. They say you got cold feet. It's the same concept as that. That you got cold feet, cold hands. So your daily practices and your long-term your direction of where you're headed needs to be updated and refreshed. So
that's the link, Ange.
Yeah.
If you click on that, you might have to install some software if you're a first-time Zoomer.
It might take you a few seconds. So.
Yeah. Beverly French. A couple of my toes going numb. Do you know which foot, Beverly? Left, right?
Left, right. Toes? Left, right. Yeah. Left or right foot, Beverly. Which toes will help us nail that down a bit more?
Janet has a hiatus hernia. One of your favorites?
No. Inguinal hernia is my favorite.
Well,
I got the mesh pad and everything for that one. That was great. Hiatus hernia. That's navel chakra. That's pushing yourself emotionally. Basically, you're straining. The hernia is like you've pushed yourself so much trying to get your feelings done or deal with other people's feelings or emotions. You're just like it starts off straining yourself, pushing yourself too hard. And because it's in the navel, we're talking about emotions here. We're talking about pushing yourself emotionally too hard. So you're probably taking on everyone's emotions or resisting your own emotions and feelings and stuff like that. So it got to the point where you burst it. My inguinal hernia, I was on the right side. I was just pushing myself on a base level so much to run my business and carry people with me in my business, and it just burst the hernia. I didn't even know I did it at first. I picked it up about a couple of hours later. I'm like, oh, what's that? And so it was just pushing yourself too hard, and so the muscles can't hold anymore, and you're just back off a little bit on the emotions, or give yourself some time to be emotional. Just give yourself a bit of space and let yourself break down every now and then if you're one that just holds all your emotions in, just give yourself permission to break down without buying into it. It's like releasing of emotions is just wonderful for the body,
Yeah.
It's a bit humiliating when you got to do it in front of each other, but
men can cry. It's all good.
Men can cry.
Where are we? Natasha, I keep getting left hip and hamstring issues.
Left hip and hamstring. So left hip and hamstring. Generally, the hamstring, again, it's muscular, so it's about guilt. And the hip is about being flexible. And that was a female, was it, Natasha?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Angela.
So I'll bring Angela on in a minute. And so, Natasha, so be flexible in your spiritual direction or being flexible with females or yourself. So the hip is about flexibility in your direction. So to make your direction for yourself or your spiritual direction, it's time to be a bit more flexible and maybe not take on the opinions of other women or judge the fact that you want to change direction.
Yep.
And the hamstring is the guilt from the past. You're making yourself do this. The hamstring's tight, so it's holding on to guilt. So that's, you don't want to change your direction for yourself or for your spiritual direction because maybe you think you owe somebody, your mum or females or whatever from the past, and if you change direction, they're going to be upset or something. You're judging it from the past and you're holding on to that guilt. So, one of the things we say is that's past me. So just art. And whenever I say this stuff, please don't believe it straight up. Please don't disbelieve it. Just check in on it now. Feel your hamstring, especially if it's a little bit tight now. Just say, is that guilt from the past? And feel if it gets a little bit looser, if it releases. So what's the use of having guilt from the past? It's affecting where you want to go. Again, this one we could probably work through really quick and heal it almost. But I would need to talk to you to get you to try some wording, some NLP words and stuff like that to release it. So we're going to bring Angela on now.
Yep.
So Angela is going to have a little chat with us. And
can you hear us, Ange? Got you muted. Hang on a second.
So we're just,
hi.
Yeah.
Hey,
hi,
how are you?
You can turn your camera on, but you don't have to. It's
up to you.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just trying to work out how to turn the camera on.
Down the bottom left, it should be, I think. There's a picture of a camera.
Yeah, sometimes if you're using a laptop, then down the left-hand corner, there's a little video symbol.
There's a little camera symbol.
It'll have like a red stripe through it.
Okay, so it's on my mobile, my iPhone.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, just ask your question.
Yeah, we'll just talk it out.
You can turn.
Okay.
So what have you got going on?
All right. So at the moment, what I have is that I basically am settled in my life. So I have been very, very sick.
Yep.
I've had about 12 surgeries to try to fix this, and it's been ongoing issues, and I have healed myself. So basically I told myself I was going to get well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I took steps in my life to get well, and I have got well. I'm no longer symptomatic.
Yep.
Sometimes my blood work's not too good, but I feel good. So that's the main thing to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doctors and specialists are saying to me that, I'm a miracle. So what I have ever done, they just say, just keep doing it because it's working well for you.
Yep.
Yep.
But the sad thing is that I've got everything. I've got a new home. I've got a husband that loves me. I have a family that loves me. I just can't seem to find fulfillment or happiness in my life. I just don't know why. What am I searching for?
Because first of all, you told me straight away there you've got everything. So how can you do anything? You've got everything, so you can't go for anything more.
Yeah.
So and fulfillment is an ongoing thing. It's like people like us, I call us the glass half full crowd. We're never going to be content with the way things are. We're always going to want more, but we've got to be content with always wanting more, always wanting to improve it, always wanting to make it better. Then we can be content with the fact that we're always going to be looking for more. The other half of the population, we call them humans and humanoids, but the humans, they can be content with the way things are as long as they've got their money and everything else, and they can be content with that. But we could have the perfect system, the perfect life, and we're still going to want to fix it. We're still going to want to make it better. It's like, it's perfect, but we want to make it better. So you're never going to have everything. And you don't want everything because then you're dead. You can't grow. It's like, so that's the first.
And just remember that this is the subconscious mind, right? And so by saying that you've got everything, the subconscious mind will just automatically start assuming that you've got everything
and functioning from that place.
And functioning from that place. So when you then drop into, well, why am I not fulfilled, or what else is there, or what else am I looking for? Subconsciously, it's going, hang on a sec, you've got everything. Hang on a sec, you've got everything.
You can't look for anything else. The subconscious won't let you look for anything because you've told it you got everything. And you didn't mean that, and that wasn't your intention. But the subconscious is like a video camera. It picks up every word, every action, every feeling, and just takes it as a matter of fact. Whether it's a joke, whatever it is, and if it's repeated enough time, that's the program. That's
Yeah.
that's the default in the subconscious. So, you know, I've had everything. So you just start changing that.
Yeah.
Look, I've got everything. I've had everything the way I want it, and now I want it to grow. Now I want it to evolve. Now I want it to change, and that's okay. And it's probably other people that are telling you, what are you doing? You've got everything. You know, it's like,
Yeah. Why aren't you happy? You've got everything.
You know,
It's been a crazy last like 10 years.
Yeah.
Have just been like I want to write a book on it because it's just been unbelievable.
Do it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the wanting to write the book, but then the subconscious is going, no, you've got everything. You don't need to do
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so what else can I do to inspire myself?
Yes.
How else can I, what else can I do to evolve? Start saying it like that, asking questions like that. I've had everything, but I want, now I've got a clean slate and I want to start again. It's like, and I want to grow this further and I want to expand it further. And you've got to undo those statements.
Command,
So,
and if you find yourself saying it, because it's not something perhaps that you can just stop saying, right? But if it comes out, just sort of correct yourself, just say, okay, I acknowledge that I may have said that in the past, but I'm going to now go back to it. I had everything, or it seemed like I had everything.
Yeah, it seemed like.
But what else is there that I don't have that maybe I would like? And go back to that questioning wonder.
So, and maybe it's the outside you've got everything, and there's stuff missing on the inside.
And just another quick question, guys. I've just been thrown into another career path.
Yeah.
Completely different to what I've ever done before.
Awesome.
I actually do enjoy it, and I work with meat, so it's really funny. So I actually enjoy working with meat. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I am where I'm supposed to be. So I'm always searching. That's another thing I can't get out of doing. Like, am I supposed to be where I'm supposed to be? That's
the one that I was just talking about. That's the problem with our half of the population, us humanoids, as I call us. We're never going to be fulfilled, right? But we can be fulfilled in the fact that we're never going to be fulfilled. We can be temporarily fulfilled, but like we could work on the end of a production line putting lids on bottles, right? And for a month we could do that until we got so fast that we had a break, that we were faster than the machine. Once that happens, then we'll go crazy and we'll want to kill ourselves, right? And no matter how big or small the job is, once we've done it and we've optimized it and perfected it to the max, after a couple of days, we'll start going crazy. So you can have the best job in the world, and once you've perfected it, and it's running along in its routine, you'll go crazy. It's like, because we're creators. We want to create more. We always want to see what else can we do with it? So if you've done something, if you can't take certain thing any further, it's time to let it go and move on.
Yeah.
So if you're playing a musical instrument and you're playing ukulele and you can't play it anymore, you've got to throw it away and move on to the guitar. And
it's funny you say that, because my old profession was I ran a music school.
There you
so
go.
once I did car sales, ironically, for a while. Once I got up to the best salesman, for about a year I loved it. Once I was the best salesman, and I'd done it to the best of my ability, I nearly wanted to neck myself. It's like, and it's, once you've perfected something and you've done it and taken it and optimized at the max, that's where that's part of where you're unfulfillment, and you're also judging the fact that you want to do that. That's the big part, that you're unfulfilled. So be happy with the fact that you're always going to want more.
Yeah, and I'm also getting that sort of feels like it just an internal acknowledgement that there could actually be more to do.
Yeah.
Just that's all. Your inner child's trying to tell me, like, I don't know. She needs to just acknowledge that there could be more out there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
I think, because I'm always the type of person that just says, well, I'm happy here, I'm going to settle.
Yeah.
But then there's a little nibbling part of me that says, are you really happy? Is this where you should be?
Yeah.
You're not doing what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah. So, but
I don't know.
We're never doing what we're meant to be doing, because we're doing what we're doing, right? So, but maybe you're not heading in the right direction. So, training and stuff like that is so. okay, am I starting to do what I'm meant to be doing? Ask that question. So am I heading in the right direction? Does that feel light? Does that feel right? So that, don't judge that niggling feeling. That's your soul talking to you. That's the thing that wants us to always evolve. You know, anytime we stop growing, we start dying. So when the tree stops growing, it starts to die. It's not dying. It's not dead straight away. It might take years, but if you're not growing, you're dying. And that's evolution. That's nature. It's normal to, like, cherish that feeling, because as soon as you stop growing, you're starting to die.
Yep.
It's just, I just feel like I'm constantly searching. Like, it's ridiculous.
Your inner child's giving me a picture of a horse with blinkers on, right? The key bit here being the blinkers. She's trying to say you need to take the blinkers off.
Yeah.
So one way to do that perhaps is when you're in your environments, whether that's in home or at work or in friends or whatever it is, ask yourself, you know, I wonder what else there is that I'm not seeing around here. I wonder what else it is that I could feel or perceive, or
and what,
you know,
and where are you searching? You've explored we've explored outer space, right? Or like as man, we're exploring space, but we still haven't even explored inside ourselves yet. We've explored less of the ocean than we have space, you know. So maybe you need to turn it inside now. Start exploring intuition, start exploring your vision, start exploring your psychic abilities. Because the inner space, like when you tune into the body and you go inwards, and if you can get a clear picture of it, it's freaky how big it is, right? It's like the TARDIS in Doctor Who. And you look at the body and then you look inside, and if you start to look around, it's bigger than the universe. It's a representation of the universe. And when you get a clear vision, it freaks you out. It's like, that's inside my body, but it's bigger than the outside. So maybe it's time to turn that.
Looking at heart, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, to start exploring inward, start, you know, applying that. So you've got the skills, you've got the talent, and you're really good at it. And you've probably gone everywhere on the outside you can go. Yeah. And that's where you're feeling. So now it's time to turn it inside and go, okay, let's see how I can explore my heart. Let's see how I can explore my emotions. Let's see what I can do with that. And then if you do that and you start to know yourself, man, know thyself is a great thing. Then your ability is endless to share and to grow.
Yeah, there's a beautiful sacred space in your heart. Just start asking that question. I wonder what that feels like, that sacred space. I wonder if I can go in there and sink into that and go deeper into that. Just keep doing that and see what it feels like. Don't analyze it. Just ask the question. And ask the question and feel, and ask the question and
so
feel.
The same way that you've created all the stuff on the outside, the same techniques, you know, the willpower, the determination, the focus. If you start turning that all inwards, I wonder if I can develop my intuition more. I wonder if I can develop my clairvoyance or my clairaudience. You know, we have 5 senses and we have 5 extra senses. I wonder if I can develop all my clair senses internally. And there's lifetimes worth of exploration internally. And you'll never get bored. You know?
It feels as though, to me, it's like as you said, with what's happened to you, there is a story to be told. But it first feels like you've got to sort of go inside first and then bring it out that way, if that makes any sense.
It makes 100% sense. And I have played with my clairaudience and clairsentience and all that kind of stuff before. And it is, when I do stop over analyzing things, because that's my downfall, I analyze and question everything.
That's not a
it surprises me.
That's not a downfall necessarily. So in the Western world, we're very analytical. We've got it, like our analytical mind is very well developed, but our sense of our personality is the problem. You're identifying as a mother or as a child of man, not a child of God, or a child. If you start identifying as a child of the universe, that strong intellect will be held well. A child of God, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, I call it that.
So you start building up your identity. Stop identifying as a mother, as an Australian, even as a human almost. You know, it's identify as a child of the universe, as an infinite being, and that will be able to contain and use that knowledge the other way. It's like that will grow the identity to a bigger identity. And if you go internally, that will help that. You know, and. It's kind of like when I said to myself, I'm a healer, I'm going to heal myself. I'm no longer going to be sick.
And then slowly, miracles happened and the
Yeah.
changes arised.
Yeah.
And I really believed it.
Yeah. And that's it. You got the key right there. You really believed it.
Yeah.
But you didn't really believe it, but you still had an open mind and you still explored. I really believed it, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to make it happen.
Yeah. And even, you know, like at work, you know, I love working here. I wonder what else there is I can love about this place.
Yeah.
You know, I love this house. I wonder what else there is I could love about this house.
Well,
you know, it's a similar sort of thing to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging this. Yes, I love this, but I wonder what else there is there. I wonder what else
is there more here that I haven't seen.
Here? Yeah, exactly.
I know, Angela, like, is there more layers here? Is there more dimensions here? I wonder if I could see them. I wonder if I could affect it more. I wonder, or use, you know, there could be more, you know, just using that wording, going internally instead of externally.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to teach more. I think one of the things you really want to do is teach people how you've manifested. Like you said, that book.
Yeah.
But you've got to know how you did it internally first. Otherwise, you're going to teach like everyone else teaches, and they're going to like people will tell you about investments, and they tell you, oh, like you need to do this and that. You need to read the charts like this and that. And so this is one of the ones I did in the stock market. And he goes, you got to buy in when the chart's up like this, when it's peaking up here and it goes halfway, and it's like and you've got to buy right at that point. And then it's like, and then later on in the book, he goes, but you don't, there's usually about 10% of them that are going up like that, but you only buy 2 of them. And it's like, which 2?
I don't know.
He was using intuition and he didn't know. He was just telling the people his external things, and he didn't even know that he was using intuition.
Intuition, yeah. I know, like, I can visualize parts of how I healed. It's just describing them and getting it out there. And it's like what you said, I've got to go into my heart.
Yeah.
And I really got to bring that from out to in. And I have to just try. I think I've really got to trust myself, because that's something that you forget to do.
And another way to say that is you got to relax into your heart.
Yeah.
Don't go into your heart, because you are in your heart, but you just more awareness up in your head, right? So you got to let your awareness drop more into the heart.
And when you say that, sorry, Dom, just say it more and more. So I'm gonna you know, surrender into my heart more and more. I'm gonna you know, feel what it's like to go deeper into my heart more and more. Just keep saying more and more. Just keep it possibilities open.
Yeah. So the definite words are the problems. You know, I have to do this. I've got to do that. They're the problems for the subconscious mind. So and I have to go into my heart. Like it's a one-step thing. It's not a one-step thing. Yeah, it's a continual journey, like expanding into your heart, relaxing into your heart more and more, expanding, getting more and more connected with it every day.
It's like I'm continuously trying to release fear of spirit.
Yeah,
because I know they're around me daily, and I do feel their presence, and I see them on my peripheral vision. And I'm just fearful of it, and I'm just like, no, I've got to learn to release this.
I don't think you're fearful. I don't think you're fearful of them. We're going to end up in a sec because we're gone over time, but I don't think you're fearful of them. It's a subconscious fear. It's what we call the dweller on the doorstep. But it's the fear that if you open up to it fully and listen to it, it's going to tell you to do something you don't want to do. It's going to tell you to give up all your money and become a nun in a monastery or some crap like that. We don't even believe that, but that's the background fear. It's like, but that's not what that's not what nature does. So that's not what it's going to do. That was my fear for a long time. That was, I think, one of my teachers was a yogi, so I thought I was going to have to do yoga and wear robes and stuff like that. But I didn't believe that. But that subconscious fear there, and then I started looking at nature. It's like it doesn't tell the orange tree to turn into an apple tree. So what spirit and the universe will guide you to do is what's going to naturally make you feel good. Yeah. They're not going to waste your skills and tell you to throw them away and tell you to become a nun or something if you're a mother. So
they keep saying to me, you have a story to tell. You have a story to tell. Go in there and find it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate tonight. It's been beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you, Angela. And anyone who wants to get a private session, you can book on us through BQuest. Click on the BQuest Wellbeing page, the link's there, and you can go onto our YouTube page. We've got some free videos on our YouTube page to demonstrate.
I'll drop some links later. So you guys kind of got a feel for what it is we generally do in our more one-on-one sessions. So going forward, if there's more of you that want to come on and have these deeper conversations. I think as a people,
Yeah.
if you
So now that
commented
Angela
it.
had done that,
Yeah.
other people are hearing that and they go, oh yeah, and they're doing it while you're doing it. So that wasn't just for Angela, like 4 or 5 people also
Yeah.
were using that at the same time. And also, guys, just if you can give us a better name than intuitive Q&A for what we just did, would be much
What
appreciated.
the hell do we call that?
And if anyone can come up with a really good name, intuitive, whatever,
Yeah.
and we use it, we'll give you a free half-hour reading.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
thank you, guys. Lovely. See you next week. Bye.
Cheerio.